Imagine paying extra for everything in your life, not because you're careless, but because you don't have enough money to stop paying extra. That's the invisible tax nobody warns you about. Let's start with a simple moment you've probably lived through. Something breaks, your phone screen cracks, your tire goes flat, your laptop starts overheating. You know the small fix costs a couple $100, but your bank account says you can't afford the small fix. So you wait. Weeks pass, the small problem becomes a big one. Now the phone is unusable. The tire damages the rim. The laptop dies completely. What could have been $200 becomes $1,500. Not because you were stupid, because you were broke at the wrong moment. This is the core truth most people miss. Being poor is not just having less money. Being poor means everything costs more. There's a concept in economics called the poverty penalty. It means you pay higher prices, higher interest, higher fees, and higher stress just for existing with low cash. Take shopping, for example. If you have money, you buy in bulk. Big packs. Lower price per unit. If you're broke, you buy small quantities because that's all you can afford today. And small quantities always cost more per item. So rich people get discounts for having money. Poor people pay premiums for not having it. That's not discipline. That's structural math. Now let's talk about banks, the place where this becomes almost criminal. If you have savings, banks reward you with lower fees, better rates, and perks. If you're broke, they punish you with overdraft fees, late fees, and penalty charges. You borrow $10 for one day and pay $35 in fees. That's an interest rate higher than most loan sharks in history, but somehow it's legal. The system charges you more precisely when you can afford it the least. It's like a hospital billing you extra for being sick. And then there's the psychological side, the part nobody teaches in school. When you're constantly worried about money, your brain goes into survival mode. You lose long-term thinking ability. You start making decisions for today, not for next year. That's why broke people take terrible deals. Not because they're dumb, because stress hijacks their intelligence. Scarcity makes you short-sighted. Now let's zoom out. Cars. A person with savings buys a reliable used car at low interest. It runs for 10 years, low total cost. A person without savings buys a cheap car with insane interest. It breaks constantly, high total cost. Same with housing. Owners pay less per month than renters, but renters can't save for a down payment because rent eats their income. So they stay renters forever, paying more for less. So here's the real pattern. Poor people don't just lack money. They rent their entire life. They rent housing. They rent transportation. They rent stability through debt. And worst of all, they rent their time. Laundromats, buses, long commutes, waiting in lines. Everything takes longer when you don't have money. Poverty doesn't just cost dollars, it steals hours. So what's the escape? Not getting rich. The real escape is building a buffer, a small financial shield between you and chaos. That first $1,000 in savings changes your entire life. It turns emergencies into inconveniences. It turns panic into planning. It lets you fix small problems before they explode. This is why the best investment when you're broke isn't stocks or crypto. It's eliminating the poverty penalties. High interest debt, predatory fees, disposable products. Every dollar you save isn't just money, it's leverage. It's future stress you'll never experience. You don't escape poverty by earning more first. You escape poverty by stopping the leaks. Then your income finally starts working for you instead of against you. CTA. If this video made you realize how much you're paying just for being broke, share it with someone who needs to see the hidden math. Subscribe for more content that doesn't just motivate, it explains the system so you can actually beat it.